Hey guys, Alex here, and it's time for a vinyl update. I think this is number 36 or something. It's been quite a while since I've done a vinyl update. It must have been at least a couple of months. And to be quite honest, I haven't been going crazy. I haven't purchased very much. I only have 3 records to show. So yeah, it's not going to be a very long update. You'll be pleased to know, considering the length of my last 2 videos. But yeah, just wanted to show you the vinyl that I picked up, considering it is record store day tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow. But I'll be getting down my record store very early tomorrow morning, hopefully. And it's just amazing how quickly record store day seems to come around the last couple of years. But yeah, really looking forward to record store day this year. There's some things that I'm definitely on the lookout for. So I'm hoping that I'll have a good day tomorrow and come back with a good score, a good vinyl score. So yeah, watch out for a video over the weekend or early next week showing you my record store day finds. And I guess that's kind of been part of the reason why I haven't been buying much vinyl. I've been trying to save as much as I can for record store day because, you never know how overpriced some of the things are going to be, some of the vinyl's going to be. So yeah, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try and get down there very early, and I know I'll have to do some queuing, and it's going to be a bit of a mad scramble to get, the best stuff, the stuff that I want to get. But that's always the way it is. That's part of the fun, and there's also some live stuff going on. There's some music being played there at my record store tomorrow. So hopefully, it will be another great record store day. Hope you guys will also be participating. Some of you guys. Getting down, supporting the indie record stores, buying some limited edition vinyl. It's always good fun. It only comes around once a year, so you've got to enjoy it. But yeah, going to do a vinyl update, and I'm going to show you some books as well. So it's kind of a vinyl and a book update at the same time. Just some books that I've been reading or bought recently. Playing in the background for this video, I thought I'd pull out the great Louis Armstrong, my only record of Louis Armstrong's. This is just a simple, cheap greatest hits collection, 20 golden greats. I think I got this from my grandma's loft or something crazy like that. And to be honest, it's all I really need of Louis Armstrong, but it's now and again I can't resist putting a bit of Louis on, and very, very relaxing music. So yeah, anyway, getting into these finds. This first one here I picked up at a record fair in Oxford, actually, that happened a few weeks ago now. It's not very often that we have record fairs in Oxford. I think there's two a year as far as I know, and somehow I've managed to miss all of the ones prior to this one that happened a few weeks ago. And I went down, I actually forgot that it was happening, and I had to be reminded by my girlfriend. She let me know that it was still happening, and I got down there pretty late, so I think I missed out on a lot of the good stuff. So I didn't pick up very much. I only picked up this one record, and it was right at the end. I was just about to walk out and just accept that it wasn't my day. And then I found this. I found this in one of the guys that was selling records there. He had this in a crate, and it was right at the back. I was so close to not looking through that box of records, and I'm so thankful that I did, because I picked out a record that I've been meaning to buy, a record that I've been looking out for some time now, and it is The Last Waltz by, of course, the band. And even though it says it's just by the band, of course there are many people that played on this. You've got the band, Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond. Of course, Bob Dylan played on here, reuniting with the band after a few years. Ronnie Hawkins, Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, The Staples, Ringo Starr, Muddy Waters, Ron Wood, and Neil Young. So quite a star-studded lineup on this, and that's been one of the reasons why I've wanted this for so long. They put out a very nice reissue recently of this. It's probably about a year ago they reissued this and put it out on 180-gram vinyl. And I was tempted by that, but I think it was £45. In fact, it might have even come out on last year's Record Store Day, because I remember talking about it in a video. But I'm very happy that I found an older copy now. I'm pretty sure this is a first or second version of this. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not an original, but it's definitely an early version from the late 70s. This, of course, came out in 1978. I believe the show was recorded by Martin Scorsese, filmed by Martin Scorsese in 1976, which was when the actual concert happened. And then they put out the soundtrack a couple of years later. It's got some nice gold lettering on the front there, a very simple cover. And it's a 3 LP set. You just have the standard, nothing special about the sleeves, but yeah, individual sleeves for the records. And this is on Warner Brothers, of course. And as I say, yeah, 3 records in this set. I won't show you them all, but also comes with a nice booklet in here, which was a nice addition, with some pictures and I believe some lyrics or something. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, you got some nice pictures of the band, and you can see this, how the stage was set up. That was one of the amazing things about the Last Waltz. They had a really kind of flamboyant, classical kind of traditional style stage, and they had grand pianos, and you know, it was a really grand setting, as you can see there. And yeah, mostly pictures in here, and you got some details of the artist there on the back. So yeah, I was really happy to pick this up. It was a nice find. It was nice to find this and not go home empty-handed. You know, I was happy that I managed to find something at the record fair. But overall, I think I got there a bit late, so I missed out on the best stuff, because I was really going there with the intention of buying, you know, maybe 3 or 4 records if I could find some nice ones. But yeah, I was very happy with that one. Moving on now to a couple more secondhand finds. These I found yesterday. I've talked before about shopping for records in Oxfam, which is a kind of charity shop here in the UK. And, you know, I've kind of critiqued it in the past as not being the best place to look for records. But being part of the Facebook group has kind of brought a new perspective to that, I guess, because I've seen Dino's Vinyl Times on YouTube. I believe that he's managed to score some amazing records, some amazing scores in Oxfam or in similar charity shops. And yeah, he's posted, you know, hauls of his and, you know, records that he's managed to find in these charity shops. And the funny thing is, I only used to live, you know, like kind of like 10 minutes down the road from Dino. And I never visited the town that he manages to get all these amazing records in. So maybe that's something, when I next go home, I can take a trip to where Dino lives, and maybe that's like a kind of vinyl haven. But yeah, Oxfam's never been that kind to me. I've never found that too many great records in charity shops. But yesterday I managed to find a couple of nice ones. It's the first time I've been down there for a while, after getting back to Oxford a few days ago. And yeah, I managed to find a couple of really nice records. So this first one is a nice addition to my Genesis collection, which is very small at the moment. I only own some of the 80s stuff, and Selling England by the Pound, which I showed a couple of updates back. But yeah, this was a really nice addition to my Genesis collection, another early record of theirs. Picked up a copy of Nursery Crime from 1970, is it 1972, 1971 maybe? I think it's 1971, this one. This is their second LP, I believe. But again, I'm a bit shaky, I'm a bit rusty on my Genesis knowledge today, so could be wrong about that, but yeah, I think this is 1971, this came out, and yeah, I managed to bag a really nice copy of this in the charity shop yesterday. First, I got really excited when I saw this, because I thought it was a first pressing or an original, and I've seen originals of this record go for, you know, kind of between £30 and £50, so I thought I might have a pretty valuable record on my hands, and I obviously managed to get it for a very cheap price. This was only $3.99. But after doing a bit of research, it's actually the Small Hatter label. Of course, this is the Charisma label, and they have two different variations of this label. I believe that the originals had a larger Hatter figure there. As you can see, the kind of figure there on the top. Yeah, I believe on the originals the Hatter figure is larger. But I still think this is an early pressing. I think it's a US version that came out 1972, 1973, that kind of time. And yeah, I gave this a spin earlier, and I was pretty impressed. I've never claimed to be the biggest of Genesis fans, but you know, I'm starting to get into their early stuff, and you know, Selling It England by the Pound is probably still my favourite. I would definitely put that above this. But I'd say that this comes in a close second out of the records that I have of theirs. I'm still looking for a nice copy of Lamb Lies Down on Broadway and Foxtrot. I'd like to get those two records, but at the moment I'm content with having a nice copy of Nursery Crime, and I thought that was a pretty nice find. Second of all, and the last record I have to show, is just a simple greatest hits record that I managed to pick up. It's by a collective or a group, a band, I guess you could say. I don't know if you'd call them a band. This is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I'm new to them. I've never heard anything by them before, so it's a complete introduction to me. And I thought it was a good way of being introduced to their music was to buy a kind of best of or greatest hits records. And yeah, didn't think it was too much risk buying this for $2.99. And again, I played this earlier, and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. I saw that Adam reviewed one of their records recently, or a couple of months ago, and he said to me that he wasn't the biggest fan of theirs. But you know, I liked what I heard. I'm going to have to give this another couple of spins to kind of gauge a final verdict and decide whether I want to proceed in buying any of their other records, any of their actual studio albums. But yeah, this is a best of, just a standard, pretty simple pressing. It's got a decorated sleeve, and it's on Atlantic. Very, very clean copy. It sounded very good, so yeah, I can't complain. Even though I haven't obviously picked up very much vinyl, looking forward to Record Store Day. I'm going to try and get all the things that I'm after. So even though it's been a bit of a downtime, I'm happy with the stuff that I have managed to pick up recently. Okay, so I'm going to show you quickly, before I wrap this video up, because I don't want to make it too long, I'm going to show you a few books that I've been reading recently, or picked up recently. This first one here is Self and Others by R.D. Liang, or I'm not sure how you say it, Lang. This was published in, I believe, the early 70s. First published in 1961, so this is a very old book. I've heard things about R.D. Lang. I first saw his name in another book that I read called All the Mad Men, that I showed in, I think, my Christmas edition vinyl update from a few months ago. And he was obviously a kind of leading or kind of alternative leading psychologist of the 1950s, 1960s. And he had some pretty interesting, controversial views on psychology. And this book is full with great analogies, great examples, some really clear and nice, I'd say, kind of simplifications of some pretty complex psychological concepts. And I'm pretty new to all this kind of stuff. I'm only starting to delve into psychology in any kind of way, so I thought this was a nice book to pick up. Second of all, I picked up Hitch 22 from Christopher Hitchens. I've always been a fan of Christopher Hitchens. Obviously, he is, well, the late Christopher Hitchens now. Sadly, he passed away after contracting cancer. He died in, I think, 2011. So, yeah, that was a very sad thing to happen because I was a big fan of Christopher Hitchens. I've been watching his stuff on YouTube. He gives great lectures, and he was a great debater, and obviously had pretty strong views on religion. He was very anti-religion, and he expressed that very abruptly in his debates and in his books. And of course, he was principally known as being an author, and this is his memoir that he wrote, I think, in 2010. Shortly before, I believe, getting cancer, and the prologue actually does talk about, because this is a reprint, the prologue does talk about, in a pretty harrowing and saddening way, actually. It talks about his struggle with cancer and realizing and kind of coming to terms with it. So I'm only a few chapters into this book, but already really enjoying it. I would highly recommend this if you're in the market for a kind of autobiography. Check out Christopher Hitchens. And finally, I can't remember if I showed this in any previous videos, but I've been kind of skirting the surface of poetry over the last few months. Obviously being into Dylan and finding out about his poetical influences, the poets that influenced Dylan's writing. I came across, inevitably, the famous Arthur Rimbaud. And a few months ago I picked up the complete works of Arthur Rimbaud, translated by Paul Schmidt. And this is a really nice, comprehensive, collective version of, obviously, his complete works. Rimbaud was, I'm not sure how you would say it, surrealist poet, I don't know, but mid-19th century poet, and he was a pioneer of French poetry in kind of a very surreal, abstract and very, very, very out there surrealist kind of style. I'm not talking very technically right now because I don't know too much about poetry. I'm as I say, I'm just kind of skirting the surface and starting to delve into it. But this is amazing. I mean, I never realized just how much of a genius Rimbaud was until getting this and reading some of his poems. And what the amazing thing about Rimbaud was that he wrote almost all of his poems, all of his writings were written before the age of 20. And some of the poems in here were written at an age as early as, I think, 10 or 12. And, the complexity and the detail and the kind of just the level of depth in these poems is so extraordinary for any writer, let alone just a kid, So, yeah, this has got A Season in Hell in it, which is probably his most famous kind of prose poem. It's got Illuminations, and it's got everything he ever did in here, as well as some letters and some some biographical writing about Rimbaud. So I would highly recommend this if you're into Dylan. A lot of his songs were, especially the mid-60s songs and the stuff he did kind of post-1964, he was being directly influenced by Rimbaud. He's talked about it before, and it was very obvious that Rimbaud had a lot of bearing on the Dylan style of writing, and you can see that from reading these poems. So I would highly recommend this if you can pick it up on Amazon. I think I got it for $5 or so. So yeah, those are just 3 books that I've picked up recently and started reading. That's pretty much it for this video. Again, I've managed to rattle on for 19 and a half minutes, so I'm gonna cut it now. I'll hopefully see you over the weekend or early next week, as I say, to do a record store day video. Really looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing what everybody else picks up, as always. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.